You think you know her. You've been together for months, maybe years. You know her morning routine, her favorite coffee order, her go-to Netflix show. You know how she laughs, how she cries, how she argues. You know her quirks, her habits, her patterns. You know her so well that you stop paying attention. And that's when it happens. That's when he appears. The other man, the one who makes her suddenly different. You notice it gradually in small ways. She begins dressing differently. She laughs at jokes that weren't funny before. She develops interests she never had. She becomes someone you don't recognize. And you ask yourself the question that haunts every man who's ever lost a woman to another. Who is this person? And why didn't she ever become this person for me? The answer will blow everything you thought you knew about women, love, and relationships. Because what you're about to learn isn't about her changing for another guy. It's about why she never changed for you. Oh yes, I've got something special for you. An e-book, How to Read Mind Through Dark Psychology. It uncovers the covert techniques to read people's mind through their behavior. Take it now. Link in the description or pinned comment. The first transformation, she becomes his definition of gorgeous. She didn't despise makeup. She despised putting on makeup for someone who no longer took notice. Observe closely. The woman who once said she didn't care how she looked suddenly cares greatly. The woman who called makeup inauthentic is now contouring like a pro. The woman who lived in sweatpants is now in dresses that remind you of why you originally fell for her. But here's what really hurts. She always took care with how she looked. She always wanted to be pretty. She always had the ability to put effort in. She simply stopped doing it for you. Why? Because you lost interest. Because your compliments became automatic. Because your attention became predictable. Because somewhere along the line you taught her that her effort didn't matter to you. Think about it. When was the last time you really looked at her? Not glanced at her while scrolling through your phone. Not noticed her while watching TV. When was the last time you stopped what you were doing, looked into her eyes, and made her feel like the most beautiful woman in the world? She's spending an hour getting ready for a casual coffee with him, while she couldn't be bothered to comb her hair for your anniversary meal. Why? Because his eyes light up when he looks at her. Because his jaw drops when she goes to some trouble. Because he treats her like a goddess, while you treat her like furniture. This is not about vanity. This is about feeling valued. This is about feeling seen. This is about her femininity being cherished, not taken for granted. Here's the nasty truth. She was always able to be this version of herself. She just needed someone who made her feel like it was worth it. The second transformation, she finds her passions again. She didn't lose her spark. You simply stopped being the flame that set it off. Suddenly, she's interested in things again. She's taken dance classes. She's learning photography. She's reading books. She's listening to new music. She's discussing dreams and aspirations you've never heard her speak of. And you're sitting there thinking, where did this come from? When did she become this person? Why didn't she ever tell me about these interests? Remember when she asked to sign up for that art class, and you told her it was a waste of money? Remember when she spoke about traveling and you changed the topic to something practical? Remember when she brought you something she was excited about, and you barely looked up from your phone? You had taught her that her interests were inconvenient. You had taught her that her aspirations were impossible. You had taught her that her enthusiasm was irritating, so she stopped sharing. She stopped dreaming. She stopped being excited about anything. But now she's alive again. She's interested in everything. She's exploring hobbies, setting goals, making plans. Why? Because he encourages her. Because he finds her interests fascinating. Because he makes her feel like her dreams matter. He asks about her day and listens to her response. He remembers the little things. He urges her to chase joy. He doesn't see her passions as threats to his time. He sees them as part of her magic. When she talks about wanting to play guitar, he helps her find a teacher. When she mentions a book she's reading, he doesn't brush it off. He asks thoughtful questions. When she's excited about something, he nurtures that excitement. That's why she's becoming someone you don't recognize. Because for the first time in years, someone is telling her to be all of herself. Someone is reminding her that she's more than just a girlfriend. She's a whole, big, fascinating human being. The woman who was so boring and predictable with you is suddenly dynamic and intriguing with him. Not because she changed, but because he created an atmosphere where she could shine. The third transformation, she becomes emotionally available again. She didn't become cold. You stopped being warm, and this one hurts the most. The woman who became aloof, shut down, emotionally unavailable with you is now open, vulnerable, and expressive with him. She's laughing more, talking more, sharing more, touching more, loving more, showing more. She's the woman you fell in love with, the one you've been trying to get back for months, or even years. The woman you thought was gone forever, but she was never gone. She just went into hiding. Think about the last real conversation you had with her. Not about bills, schedules, or groceries. When did you last talk about feelings, dreams, fears, hopes? When did you last ask her how she was really doing and genuinely care about the answer? When did you last make her feel emotionally safe? When did you listen without trying to fix, minimize, or dismiss her feelings? When did you last make her feel heard, understood, and valued for who she is, not just what she does for you? She didn't become emotionally unavailable by accident. She stopped reaching out because every time she tried, you were distracted, dismissive, or indifferent. Every time she got vulnerable, you looked away, toward work, your phone, your hobbies. So she built walls. She stopped sharing. She stopped opening up. Because being emotionally exposed around someone who didn't care was painful. But with him, those walls fall away. With him, she's seen. She reveals her thoughts, her fears, her dreams. She's emotionally present because he makes her feel safe. He doesn't just hear her words, he listens to her soul. He doesn't react to what she says, he responds to how she feels. He doesn't reject her vulnerability, he treasures it. When she's upset, he doesn't tell her to calm down, he holds space for her. When she's joyful, he celebrates with her. When she's afraid, he comforts her. That's why she's emotionally alive with him and emotionally dead with you. Not because she stopped loving you, but because loving you became too painful when it wasn't returned in the way she needed. Every woman is capable of being extraordinary. The real question is, are you capable of bringing out her extraordinary? You have a decision to make. You can blame her for changing. You can resent him for stealing her. You can point to timing, stress, or bad luck. Or you can own your part. You can admit that your actions affected her actions. You can acknowledge that your neglect helped cause her transformation. And then you can choose to be better. You can choose to be the kind of man who brings out the best in people, not the worst. You can be the kind of man who makes a woman want to be her best self. Because here's the bottom line. The same woman who is ordinary to one man can be amazing to another. The same woman who is dull to one man can be fascinating to another. The same woman who is cold to one man can be warm, loving, and radiant to another. It's not about the woman, it's about the man and how he makes her feel. The woman you desire, she's already out there. She might even be sitting right beside you, waiting for you to see her, appreciate her, support her, and love her in a way that awakens her. The issue is not whether she can be extraordinary. The issue is, can you be the kind of man who inspires her to be? The decision is yours. The woman you end up with is the woman you make the conditions for. Choose wisely.